my name is Jessica Dean, and I'm a Principal Developer Advocate here at AWS. Today, I'm going to show you how to create an ECS cluster that uses EC2 instances running Bottlerocket as the operating system. Then, I'm going to show you how to get started configuring your nodes. First, I'm going to go to ECS in the AWS console. Then, I'm going to click Clusters and find the big yellow button on the right hand of the screen that says Create Cluster. Now, we'll give the cluster a name. Let's call it, Wow, Such Bottlerocket. I'll scroll down a bit and uncheck AWS Fargate and check Amazon EC2 instances. I'll keep the autoscaling group as Create New ASG. Now, here's the magic. In the operating system architecture dropdown, I'm going to select Bottlerocket x86-64 kernel 6.1. It's important that you select the correct architecture here. I selected an x86-64, so correspondingly, I'm going to select an x86-64 architecture instance type. Let's use M5 2x large, and I'll set a minimum capacity to 2, and I'll leave the maximum at 5. I'm not going to add an SSH key pair. I don't need SSH because this is Bottlerocket, and, well, SSH is over 28 years old. We have better options now, and Bottlerocket takes full advantage of that. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's keep the VPC, monitoring, and tags the same. Scroll past those and click the Create button at the bottom of the page. Okay, now the cluster is currently being created. Let's wait a few minutes while all those wonderful bits and bytes coalesce into a beautiful ECS cluster. Cool. Now I can see that the cluster is created. Our cluster is ready to go, and you can deploy your application as a task or service. Bottlerocket is a Linux distro, so most applications will be unaware that they are running on Bottlerocket instead of some other Linux distro. Bottlerocket is quite different when it comes to configuring the host, though. Instead of directly manipulating the host operating system like a caveman with rocks and sticks, Bottlerocket provides a clean API where you manipulate settings and the operating system takes care of changing the underlying software for you. I'll show you how it works. I mentioned before that Bottlerocket doesn't use SSH. Instead, the primary method of interacting with Bottlerocket is by using AWS Systems Manager. To connect to a node, we're going to need to find the instance ID. You can do that by looking in the Infrastructure tab, then clicking on the ASG. Then we'll go to the ASG's Instance Management tab. Let's copy that to the clipboard and head on over to the terminal. I have AWS CLI installed as well as Systems Manager. I'm going to type AWS SSM start -session --target. Then I'll paste in the instance ID. See that fancy ASCII art rocket? That means we're logged in. Now, something important to know. It says control container, but what does that mean? I'm so glad you asked. Bottlerocket, the host, doesn't have a shell or an SSH server. What we're actually logged into is a container running on Bottlerocket. But since it's a container with a shell, it all seems very familiar. However, for example, if I run ls, I'm getting the listing of the files in the container, not the host. This container does have some specific capabilities that will allow us to access the Bottlerocket API, though. To access the API, you can run API client from the control container. You can run several things from here, but let's change a setting by using the verb set. Then we'll put settings.motd. The next argument is the value we want to change the message of the day to. I'm going to put hello from the control container. Now, setting a message of the day is not very useful, but there are tons of settings that allow you to make all sorts of changes and tweaks to the system. Make sure and check them out on bottlerocket.dev. Thanks for watching.